We're talking about moving through mindset blocks, and we do say there's some goodies, and we do pick our titles and believe they're goodies. So please tell us if you don't like our titles. Because this is going to be a great one, because we're definitely going to analyze what's going on and strategies on how to move through them. We're not just going to talk. Well, I'd like to think we're going to give strategies.
That's the intention.
On the call. And just so you know, listeners, we actually don't prep these calls.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest, and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Hello. I'm sure people love me introing.
I let you sing us into our conversation.
Yeah. There's usually a song somewhere in there. Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset Convos.
Yes.
Convos with Moira and Debz. And this is Debz talk if you've never listened before. And Moira is the lady conversationist voice that you're going to hear.
I'm the calming influence and Deborah's the jazz you up influence.
I'm the snorter. That's the one who laughs a heck of a lot. So welcome listeners to our podcast. And today, listeners, we are, isn't that how you put your radio voice on? Today, how exciting. I feel like a child presenter. Today, listeners, we're talking about moving through mindset blocks. Oh, this will be an invigorating call. I couldn't do that.
What games are we going to play on this chapter?
Yes. We're talking about moving through mindset blocks, and we do say there's some goodies, and we do pick our titles and believe they're goodies. So please tell us if you don't like our titles. Because this is going to be a great one, because we're definitely going to analyze what's going on and strategies on how to move through them. We're not just going to talk. Well, I'd like to think we're going to give strategies.
That's the intention.
On the call. And just so you know, listeners, we actually don't prep these calls. What's the title and let's go, because I find, for me personally, if I do a lot of prep work, I start going, I'm this, and this, and it's being ingenuine from coming from my soul's calling, or what heart is saying, and I start getting a little bit bedazzled with something else.
I think the whole point of our conversations is we're just riffing. And I love the whole concept of riffing, and we take a topic and then we trust one another and know that whatever is going to come up is going to be suitable for what it is that we've set the intention for this one. Right?
See, that's the calming voice. That's that's the Moira does love it. But absolutely. But first, one of the things we do is we rate ourselves, RATE, and we rate ourselves from a 0 to 10. 10 being chaotic, shaking, frazzled, like all your Christmas light wires are all tangled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then a 0 being just present, poised, just in a beautiful space, where everything's slow and not moving at rapid, and it's just gratitude, present, poised, focused is a 0.
Yeah.
So Moira, and so we rate ourselves at the start, and then we rate ourselves at the end, and we encourage our listeners to actually use this tool to do this throughout the day, because it's a great one when you're feeling frazzled, just to go, oh my God, I'm a 6. No wonder, or 7. I'm going to say 7 because my accent. No wonder I'm feeling chaotic, because when I started my day, I was 2, and now I'm a 7. Of course I'm going to be chaotic. And it's just a little awareness, acknowledgement. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
A reason, an excuse. Oh, and then you can move on. So I encourage you also to do that throughout the day. So Moira, what number are you right here, right now?
Right here, right now, sitting in this glorious sunshine, I'm at a 0.
Yeah.
Actually, we're both sitting in glorious sunshine. Cool.
You've got it on the side of your face and your throat, and mine's literally just sitting on my chin and my and so you're in spring, and we're about ready to go into
autumn,
winter.
Heading towards
autumn.
Winter.
Like, hang on, it's not quite winter, is it? Yeah. I'm pleased that Moira knows our seasons better than us. Very different on the other side of the world. Moira's in Canada, and I'm based in New Zealand, recording this from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying you're a 0. I'm going to say I'm a 0 too, because I feel okay. I feel like nothing can pop my bubble.
Good. And
today's one is perfect because we're talking about moving through mindset blocks. So because I like breaking down the words, as we know, moving through mindset blocks. So what does moving through mean, and what is mindset blocks?
Excellent. I love breaking the words down too. So moving through is we were just saying about our scale of 0 to 10, and 10, I like to think of 10 as being really stuck, and you can't see your way through, and you feel like, oh my gosh, no matter what I do, I'm not going to get through to the other side of this, whatever this is. So to me, moving through means traveling or ascending or up-leveling or achieving the success, being successful with your intention or your goal or your decision, your choice. It's just moving through the whatever it is that's, that whole concept of the being stuck or feeling in pain or lack or limitation. Moving through means you're free of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not getting to the other end.
No.
I'm going to say it's actually not. It's not that you're not getting through there. The moving through the transition.
It's the journey of it, because nothing that we experience in life is about the end goal, right? So it's like it's not the destination; it's the actual journey. It's the moving through, right?
And I talked about recently with somebody, I just don't know who I was talking about, because I say when one door closes, another one opens, and it's about that trust. But sometimes you just want to see that next door glass window, so you can actually have a little peek through to see what you're going through. But when you get to that door, it is that moving through. And sometimes, or it's quite often, you see that moving through as being so painful, and it's not having that trust and being broken and worry and fear and, oh, what does this mean? Last time I had this problem, last time I had this, people disowned me, or last time I did this, that moving through, what last time I was sad, people told me to build a bridge and get over it, all those things. So what is that moving through? And it's just knowing, it's that guiding, that floating.
Absolutely. And I think that something important that you just shared there too is that moving through is eased and created so much easier when we choose not to get caught up in the oh my God stories in our head.
When you're not in your frazzled head.
In your frazzled head, but also having this sense of trust. Something that I like to kind of use for myself is if I'm in a chaotic situation, is to just maybe put my hands on my heart, figuratively or in real time, and just recognize that everything that I experience is by my design, and I would not ever be in a situation that I can't come through. And sometimes that's all you can hold on to, especially if you can't see, like you're saying, if you can't see through the other side of that door, you have to trust that it's going to swing open and the right one's going to swing open. So it's like, I am in the right hallway, heading in the right direction, and it'll evolve. It'll show up. It'll evolve as it's supposed to, as per my own design for my own gift. Right?
Yeah, and I was just thinking, I love your hand on your heart. That was one of the greatest gifts you gave me, when we met. And you told me that, because it just something, and at the weekend I had a moment, and I was in a fitting room, and I just stopped and put my hand on my heart, and my partner was there, and she just looked at me and she went, I know what you're doing. It's okay. And then she just turned around and walked away. And I didn't even notice that I'd done it. I just went, oh my God, everything was just getting on top of me. And I just stopped, and a hand in my heart, wasn't even aware that I did it consciously. And she just went, I know what you're doing, with this cheeky little grin, like, I know what you're doing. And awesome. It's okay. Yeah. And just moved. And so it was great to just have that acknowledgement also. That, but I hadn't even realized I did it. I just went, oh my God, I know what I need to do right now. I just need to pause for a moment, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. But it was beautiful that someone actually recognized it, and I didn't recognize it. I meant to tell you that earlier.
I love that. But that's so beautiful, because that says it's part of you. That's part of your own strategy for moving through.
Without even thinking. So my own intuition, my soul said, my mind, whatever it was, just went, stop and breathe. Hand on heart, stop and breathe. Just stop, get present, breathe. And it just calmed me straight down. But I did get into the giggle when she went, I know what you're doing.
I love that.
It's okay.
I love that.
Yeah. And it's like, and then I went, oh my God, you are doing it. And then of course, I got into my head again, and then went, let it go. But it was like, oh, I didn't even know that I was doing it just so consciously. And it is just one of the most beautiful, nurturing things you can do to yourself.
Absolutely.
It's just stop and put your hand on your heart and breathe. And as I say, you can do it anywhere.
Absolutely,
no matter you are. And if you're in a full-blown argument with somebody or whatever, just say, I just need to stop and breathe for a moment. And I believe people will respect you. Maybe not if they're going to fist punch you and you're in a bar fight or something, is what I'm visualizing. Go, hang on, I just need to stop and breathe for a moment. They're probably going to go, what? Now's their weakness, let's do that. But you definitely can just take that moment and that's moving through a mindset block. That's actually just stopping that mindset block straight away. That's a freaking great tool to stop that mindset block right away.
Whatever the mindset
strategy one
is.
People.
Yeah. No, and that's actually
one of the strategies.
That is definitely one of the strategies, because the key piece here is you're actually recognizing it doesn't really matter what the mindset block is. Like my mindset might be,
it takes you out of your mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of it.
It just calm your farm, as my cousin would say.
I like that. But no, because a mindset block your mindset could be, I'm tough. I can get through this, or this chaos is normal, or I have to tough it out, or whatever. Like those can be really kind of heavy, sticky mindset blocks, right? Whereas, and it doesn't matter who's around you. It doesn't even matter if somebody rolls their eyes or go, what a cuckoo thing to do, to just put your hand over your heart and take a deep breath. I'm sure there's people out there that kind of go, huh? So what?
Well, I didn't even know I did it, and that's the beauty thing is when you it's like eating. Do you eat with your left hand with a fork, or do you eat with your right hand? Like, you just do it, or you put the washing in the washing machine? You just do it on autopilot. You don't go, how much soap suds do I need? If you're in that mode. So it's just part of my everyday life that if I want to do it, I can do it like that, and I don't even notice I did it. So if somebody said, how many times did you put your hand on your heart today? If I didn't bring that one into the fitting room, I would have said I didn't.
Right.
Because I wasn't consciously aware of it, but it just came so naturally.
And that's beautiful, because the other part of that is that, like you were saying about that, like that's your soul, that's your heart, that's your inner awareness, that's your inner wisdom, your own inner sage, if you like, that says, come home. Just come home.
Yeah.
A mindset block takes you out of home. It takes you out of present. It takes you into scarcity, limitation, downward spiral.
Chaos, fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that this is ever going to take... What's that?
No, I'm just going to say, lovely way to say, I'm coming home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a lovely way. Just like, that is just because when you travel so much, I love my bed, but I love my pillow.
Right.
Like, there's certain things, and when you come home, you just go, I've got my same soap, and that's that. Well, I'm sure there's people out there who may not think that same thing, but I'm coming home, it's like, there it is right there and then.
Yeah. This is here's my palace. Here's my luxury. And actually, that's an interesting thing that you say. Maybe not everybody thinks like that. And then my thing would be, if you don't, what mindset blocks you got in your way?
If you don't like coming home.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some chaos going on there. I suspect you'll be a 10 and not a 0. You're going to need more than your hand on your heart, but that's a very first great start before you enter through the door.
It makes me think of a number of conversations I've had in the last couple of months with various people around this, what it takes to feel comfortable and good and successful or in flow with your life. And when we get into this thing of we feel that when there's a certain amount of money in the bank account, or when we have a certain job or business or client base or whatever it is, when we do that in itself can be the mindset block too. Do you know what I mean? Because if you say, I will feel like I'm moving through something when I sign 20 people up into my program. And until you get that, so then you would disregard, maybe you get 4 people sign up. Maybe you get 4 people sign up, right? And then you keep going into this blocky place.
Yeah. I was just thinking, moving through mindset blocks, I was just thinking time frames can be moved. So just what you're just saying, 20 people to this program and you only get 4. Oh my God, I'm a failure. So then move it from 20 people down to 4 or down to 5. Like, it's okay. And moving through this mindset, I have to do this by Tuesday. Well, actually, you don't. You didn't say Tuesday next week. Like, just change it to watch the dates that you put on things. What's your expectations? What's other people's expectations? There's quite a lot that we have. And I was just thinking, moving through your mindset blocks can be stop and feel.
Yeah. Well said.
There was a thing, I think it was last year, or was it the year before? I don't know. It's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
And I love that. I remember thinking, well, this is stupid. It's okay to not, it doesn't even make sense. My head, And then I'm like, what? It actually is. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to cry if you want to cry. It's okay to stay in your pajamas one day if you need to. It's okay to pull a sick day at work or school or whatever if that's really important, because you're going to go and there's too much pressure and you're just going to cry constantly. Nobody wants you at frickin' work anyway. Just drop that one out there. But it's okay to not be okay, and that's okay, because that's part of the moving through your mindset blocks, if that's what it is.
That's beautifully said, because the thing is that if you, on the flip side of that, if you're saying it's not okay to be not okay, then you're overriding and trying to force yourself through something, or, white knuckle it until what, right? Because there's that whole thing of, if you stuff down that maybe you do need a good cry, and you stuff it down, and then something else happens on top, and then you end up snapping at something really innocent, but it's really because you just lifted the lid on the stuff that you were not allowing yourself to just express and flow with and move through, right? Now, that being said, and I've used this analogy before, is that if I'm in the supermarket doing my groceries and suddenly a memory comes up or something comes up, and I want to have a tantrum or bawl my eyes out, I'm not necessarily going to do it right in the grocery store.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
I agree.
I am going to acknowledge it to myself of, there's something that I need to allow myself to express, to take some time out of my busy schedule or something and investigate, or to just cry. I'll make a date for myself. And the caveat here is
that's the important.
Yeah. Has to be within 24 hours though. Within 24 hours.
And then you've got to show up to it. But saying that, you've just allowed your brain to ease, and you've delegated it to a time frame.
Yep.
You've given it permission, and that's it. I'm just feeling frazzled about this. I'm going to park you. I love that you've brought this up. Now's not the wisest time.
Yep.
I'm going to park you, and I'm going to deal with you when I get home, or I'm going to deal with you on the next, and just by saying that and trusting that that's going to work, because it does work. It works for me. It works for you.
Yeah, 100%.
If you don't trust it, then people do it, and it will work for you.
Yeah.
You've just given that permission you've just delegated it to the universe to park it. Like that alone. If you're in chaos, you message somebody and you say, you message someone, you say, I need help. And right at that moment, you've delegated that chaos you have to somebody else to deal with. That's okay.
That is okay.
That's part of your moving through your mindset blocks. That's another strategy.
It's a brilliant strategy, because your mindset block could be, it's not okay to ask for help. I have a couple coaching clients that I work with right now that think, actually there's two of them, that their mindset is, I'm so weak because I have to have a coach. And my turnaround to them is, it's actually a sign of power that you've got a coach, because you know that you can delegate, you can ask for help, because this is about self-worth too.
You're training to the Olympics. Would you have a coach, or would you listen to your mum or dad? Would you not listen? Would you listen to your own? Would you read a book and find that, or would you listen to a coach?
Precisely, a coach who has spent years specializing in learning techniques and technologies and ways to be your best, to run at optimum. Precisely. That's the whole point here.
Yeah, well, if you're going to go to the gym, you can go to the gym, but if you get a personal trainer, you're going to up your levels. Like you go to the gym, you can still be you can still be doing your own thing. But if you've got a personal trainer who's done that training and they go, okay, this is the shortcut to this. If you cut out this is not good for your body to do that exercise. It's not going to be the best. But if you do this, like, why would you not want to do that? Like, okay.
Exactly. But here's the other part of it too. And this is why I'm saying that by having a coach is a sign of personal power, because you're realizing you cannot be the expert of everything, but everybody that you enroll, I say this to my cancer clients that I work with, create your own team, right? So your team could be a personal coach, personal trainer, a naturopath, a homeopath, acupuncturist, and as well as the podcast episodes with Deb and Moira.
and be okay firing them and changing your team around.
Precisely.
I'm just going to say that one as well.
It has to feel right and recognize it's all your team. It's not, I've been told that I have to go to this guru or this person and buy into that way of thinking, because then you've given.
Do you not think the gurus have mentors as well, or coaches, or people who do everything apart from wiping their bum, but they do have those ones who say this is, Tony Robbins, he travels with his chef. Well, actually nobody's traveling at the moment, but he travels with his chef. So his chef, and he travels with his doctor. Like he has his own doctor who goes with him, and his so do you not think those people have that? That's part of who he is. That's part of his identity, and that's and if none of them are performing, then there's the next one that's going to be okay with firing them out.
Well, because the whole point of it is that, and I have clients that have stayed with me for years, and they and I believe that happens because I am constantly up leveling. I'm always, bringing in new skill sets and learning more things. But not everybody is, as a coach, is like that. They may stay at a certain level and just keep offering. And there's no right or wrong here. But what happens to a person who doesn't constantly upgrade their own teachings and methodologies, then their clients and their students can outpass them. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? Personal transformation. This is all about that moving through, acknowledging. I'm keeping evolving. Is that
I remember
upward spiral?
My very first mentor, my first business mentor. I did 5 months with them, and 5 months, and then I started going, I'll ask this question. I went, no, what does your intuition say? And so I'd check in with my intuition and I'd get my answer. And then I'd ask that question anyway. And they gave me this. So I tested it, and they were giving me the same answers that my intuition was giving me. And I'm like, oh my God, you actually have surpassed this mentor. And then I'm like, I can't do that because they've been around for years and da-da-da. And I went, yeah, you can, because you can save money, but you can actually find someone else who's at next level. Or what other void do you have? Is it, in your business? Let's find someone who specializes in that. And it was a beautiful thing for me. And that was probably my first year of business, to be able to let that mentor go, who, and me step up. And in fact, that met me a few years ago and asked me to help them in their business. So it was quite interesting to see how the whole evolution of that. Yeah. But I mean, it's okay. It's okay because we all travel at different speeds. But I refer to a personal trainer, or I refer to a nutritionist, or I refer to, who's training for the Olympics. Would they have a coach? Yeah. So there's no shame in having somebody. But I guess it's that whole, going to see a psychologist or going to see someone. It's like, no, you're not. You're going to see someone who's neutral and is going to make you accountable to your life. Like that's who you're going to see. And whatever they are.
And also, like, something that a lot of my clients think of me as their sacred sounding board, because I can sometimes help them look at something in a different way that would never have consciously come to them if they had sat and just ruminated and got stuck in their own tapes and their own loops. So that's why I think it's so important to have somebody hold space for you and be able to say, yeah, but you just said this. What does that feel like or look like? Or, you know, or reflect gently back. Gently, you know me. I always do things with gentle compassion here.
Gentle and ease. Well, I was just thinking as you were saying that, you know, and I think of the Christmas lights. You know, we pack away the Christmas lights and we bring them out every Christmas. And every Christmas we're just like, oh my God, they've got tangled up. Oh my God, I've got to untangle them. Now, you untangling them can take hours if they're frazzled. But if you have two people, you can go, okay, there's the end there. I'll hold this end, you know. And it's just like folding sheets. You know, having a team on board is half the time.
That's
you know, and it just
analogy,
has people, just like, because I know those Christmas lights, that's your chaos brain, that's your frazzledness. But when you have someone else who can unpack it, you can hold it, someone can unpack, you know, and untwist, and it's just like, oh, this is so much easier. You know,
creating order out of twisted circuits,
out of chaos. Definitely. I would love people to know that you will never get rid of set blocks. You will never, ever get rid of... So people just go, you know, and this is unrealistic. Oh, I wish I never had any mindset challenges. I wish I had never had any mental this, da-da-da. You will never, ever get rid of it.
No.
But you evolve from each one. And I just use Tony Robbins because he is a big entity, and I'm not a follower of Tony, but there's certain things I like about him and certain things I don't. And he has his own people who can analyze stuff and go, Tony, you've done this. Tony, you said that, you know, and that's exactly it. And so he has his own mindset blocks. How am I going to do this? I'll delegate it to a team member.
Right.
Like, nobody is perfect in the world who does not have mindset blocks. We all have them. We just have them at different levels, and the key is to move through them with ease and grace as quick as you can, so that you can function to the next level.
It's about telling yourself the truth and recognizing, oh, there's a limitation, or there's a something that's not my gift. It's not my calling. And so for some people, they might get stuck and sit there and say, well, I have to sit here until I work it out. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you have to say, like you just said, delegate it, or ask for help, or learn a new way. But to your point, that's part of our human life, is blocks, and it's the mindset. It's your mindset.
It's just unraveling those Christmas lights, isn't it?
It is unraveling it and just recognizing, where's the fun? Can I make this feel a bit more fun? Can I recognize that we're all playing a game in this game of life? And am I telling myself the truth?
And if I play it this way today, am I going to be bound by that way forever?
I know, because that's never the truth.
No, I know, yeah. It's interesting because I was just thinking of the word depression, and depression is a word that really challenges me. People go, I'm depressed, or my family member's got depression, or so-and-so's got depression. And so I just reword that word to mindset challenges. Well, they've just got mindset challenges. And if you talk to anybody who has depression, my fingers go up in the air, has that label, if you just change it, because it's such a heavy word.
It is.
It is such a heavy, to me, it's a heavy, dark word. When you get labeled with that by somebody, oh, you're depressed. It's like, I've just got mindset challenges. And hearing that just makes them go, okay, I do. I've just got mindset challenges. And it's just another way or mindset blocks. It's just another way of easing that word, and then you don't have as much shame associated with it, and then you can work through it, because sometimes what people say or throw at us, or words or actions, can have such an impact on us that we take that stuff on instead of going, this is who I am. I don't believe what they're saying. This is their stuff, not mine. Let me just be, and we do have that. But when somebody can throw a spanner at us, or spanner in the works, or throw a word or something that can throw us out from our day. So it's just about shifting and, it's like a litmus test. You do that litmus test and you see where you're at and acknowledging that, and then going, okay, what steps can I do to move forward? What can I do to get out of here?
Exactly. And I love that, what you just said about, I think that's a great way to reframe this label, because we don't need to be necessary.
It drives me insane.
I know, me too. They're just labels. Don't stick them all over yourself.
Don't post-it note that stuff.
Yeah, don't. But in my own experience, and I have encountered phases in my life of depression or darkness or spiral down challenges. Energy mindset challenges. But the thing is that oftentimes it's because we're stuck in a loop of telling ourselves something that's happened in the past, or shaming ourselves about something or choice that we've done that's no longer in existence. And so when we can reframe that into a mindset challenge, it's like, oh, wait, am I telling myself a story that has no relevance anymore? And to allow yourself to look at, what can I do to chip away at this? And of course, that can be getting yourself a therapist or a coach or a sounding board, or somebody to just kind of hold your hand, hold space while you unpack some of these mindset challenges and say, oh, that doesn't serve me anymore, or oh, that suited or kept me safe 20 years ago has no relevance now, right? Yep. So always staying present, right?
We don't give ourselves enough credit for, we have an amazing, brilliant mind. Everyone has an amazing, brilliant mind, but we don't give ourselves enough credit that we can move through things and find a resolution at the other end. I think that's the thing, because we do have past stories or past hurts or inspirations or anything, and we hold on to them and we bring them in. But I do feel that we don't trust ourselves enough that we can resolve this, deal with this, whatever it is. And that's the reason why Moira and I do these podcasts, because we show you that you are, I'm not going to say normal, that you're human, that you are functioning and you can move through things with ease and grace, and it's not as challenging as what you first thought. And there are tips on getting yourself out of that funk, and there is ways, and it's just being open and having that, I'm going to say, that faith, that trust, that belief, that certainty that you can get out of that, whatever situation you're in, no matter where you're at.
Absolutely. And I really love what you just said there. And that's the key piece is the trust. But the other part that I think a lot of people do is they don't allow themselves to admit or to feel or to recognize how resilient they really are. We are all resilient beings playing a game, but if we get too caught into judgy mindset or thinking, oh, this sucks, or I'm stuck, or I'm depressed, or I'm this label or that label, we forget, oh, hey, wait a minute, I'm a spiritual being. I've created all of this. I'm in control. I can have a team. I can enroll help around me. I can, question my mindset. I can check what's the quality of my decisions and my choices, and look at where's my heart leading me to. That's the other way of that's another tip about moving through a mindset block, is to just check in. Is this directive? Is this idea? Is this impulse? Is it coming from my head or my heart? That's it. See what happens.
Yeah, because that head can do flips.
Head can play games on you, and it's not the best guidance system.
Just like that.
Just like that. Well, this has been good. This has been good conversation. I like this. Moving through mindset blocks. We may have to come back and chip away at this in different aspects in the future.
There's definitely a lot you can take from this and break them down. I would love to know what people thought of this.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's definitely a let us know, what does moving through look like for you? What does mindset blocks look like for you? What does mindset looks like? Let us know.
And did you resonate? Did you resonate with the tips that we shared to help you? Did they make sense?
And if you've got other tips, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, educate us on where you're sitting.
We'd love to hear from you. So, dear Deb, wrapping this one up, we'd love to hear from our listeners, and let us know if you need more help, or if you have other topics that you'd love us to dive into. We're always open for suggestions there too. But let's come back to...
Absolutely, please do.
Yeah, come back to just checking in on our scale of 0 to 10. And so listeners, whatever number you were at the beginning, just check back in. Where are you now? And where are you, Deb? You started at 0.
Yeah, I have to giggle because when I did this, I started at 0, but halfway through I started thinking about where I was at, and I went, oh my gosh, I'm a 2. Wow, interesting. Yes, I jumped to a 2 and back to a 0. So it was interesting because I just partially went, where am I sitting with this? Because I could feel tenseness in my shoulders and that. Mm-hmm. So I went from a 0 to a 2 throughout this thing, and then back to a 0. So I'm sitting at a neutral space.
Beautiful.
Now, my little love bubble.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And I'm for myself, I'm at a 0 still too. I started with a 0. I'm still at a 0. But what you just shared is a beautiful example that we were saying to our listeners, is that we do go up and down this scale. There is movement. And so I'm glad you had that to share and show. Like yes. we show and walk our talk. And that's what we hope to impart. Is
definitely. And I reach out to Moira if I have any frazzles, and she's great for me.
Absolutely. And so. we both, before we hit record, we often solve everything that's going
universe.
On. Yeah. Solve the universe.
Yeah, we solve your problems even if you don't know what they are, listeners.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, dear Deb. Thank you, dear listeners. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Thank you. See ya.
See ya. Bye.